Yes, we are live. Hi guys, and welcome to the 38th episode of Dreamers and Doers, where I interview amazing people who follow their passion and use it to make the world better. I think that's you, Brittany. Welcome to the show.
I think so too. Hello.
Thanks for being here. So basically, I met Brittany. We were doing an acro yoga event, and I was really amazed at how strong you were. First, physically, like you could actually hold me.
Yeah.
On your legs, like.
You were nervous, but I didn't.
Yeah. I thought I was gonna die, and I was like,
you didn't.
"Whoa!"
Still here. We're good.
Yeah. I was very impressed. It was very stable, and also with your mentality, let's do it. I was like, "Whoa, that's." Someone amazing that I want to interview. And I also saw that recently you became a Neuro-Linguistic programming coach. That's called NLP. And that's what this episode is about. So what is NLP? But before we go into it, can you present a bit yourself and how you got into NLP and general coaching and mindsets?
Yeah, sure. Well, thanks for having me. What a great introduction.
Yeah,
Thank you. So I guess my story begins back when I was in, it's okay.
Yep.
When I was in college, and I was studying to be a communications major, and I chose communications because I wanted to work with people. I'm a people person. I love working with people, and I was in college, and I was going through the courses, and I was in my last semester, and that's the semester that you take like the core classes. And I was in these classes that were going to be like what I was going to do for my major, and I realized that is not what I wanted to do. And
Classic.
this is I'm like 4 years in, and my parents helped me pay, so I was like, I have to get this degree. And it just so happened that's like recently before that I started reading the book The Secret. Have you heard of The Secret?
Yeah. It's funny. A chick told me yesterday, so she comes to our UNLOCKT event, and she read the book last November, and it completely changed her life.
Yes. So
I haven't read it yet.
You have to write it down.
Okay.
So yeah, I read that book, and so when I had that moment of I'm in this class and this isn't what I want to do, a big thing about The Secret is the law of attraction, and you attract into your life what you want. And so it pretty much says, think about what you do want. And so I was like, okay, well, this isn't what I want to do, but what do I want to do, right? So I was thinking, okay, I really want to travel. I really want to help people, and I really want to make a lot of money. But I had no idea what was going to do those things. And I was like, maybe I could volunteer, but volunteering, obviously you don't get paid. You have to pay to volunteer. So I was like, whatever, I'm going to trust the universe, and I'm going to just go with the flow of things, and it's all going to figure itself out. And so started traveling. So that's like the first tick. And I eventually came here. I was working in hospitality, and my health started suffering because I was working long hours, whatever. I found Isogenics, which is my health program, and I had a physical transformation. And because I started with that, people started obviously asking me what I was doing, so I started eventually coaching people with their health. But a big disconnect that I found when I was coaching people with their health is that your mindset also needs to be there when you're wanting to improve your health.
Well, most people, they know what they should do, it's just they don't show up every day and actually do it, right?
Yeah, and it's because of their mindset. If you're not there, if your mindset's not there, then you could work as hard as you want, but you're not going to be able to maintain your results because if your mindset's not there, then it's all going to fall apart. So that's kind of when I started getting more into personal development, and I started transforming myself first, because how are you meant to help someone else if you don't help yourself first? And that was really the beginning of my journey, and then through that I found NLP.
Okay. Can we talk, so we'll talk about NLP mainly, but just a little one on the law of attraction. How do you apply it concretely?
So law of attraction pretty much says...
Well, what is it first?
It pretty much says, like, ask and you shall receive. So, like, if you say, I don't want it to rain, I don't want it to rain, you're pretty much, it doesn't listen to the don't, it listens to the rain. So you're attracting rain. That's just like a general example. So in your life, if you want to attract things, think about and say things in a way that, like, does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. But if you're going to say, I want sunny days. Every day is still going to be rainy.
Obviously, right? You have to be like realistic and know that there's a journey to get there. And the law of attraction pretty much just says like you can manifest what you want into your life. But you have to be thinking of it and putting energy towards it. And you have to actually genuinely believe as if it's already happened. So you're in that moment visualizing whatever your goal is, and you're in that moment feeling the feelings as if it already happened. And so the universe, this is the law of attraction, the universe says, whatever you're putting energy into, it's going to start putting things together so that happens.
Yeah, I use it actually. So usually at the end of my meditation, I do it a bit like more like some kind of affirmations of who I want to be and picture this. When I read the law of attraction, I think it's like kind of almost proven if you focus on something, you're gonna train your subconscious and your whole behavior towards the thing. I'm still in the process of thinking for the universe part, where I'm like, which is more like a belief, but I kind of tend to think why not, but I'm not sure.
Well, when
I wanted to see your
when I first got started, I was like, this is like bogus, like, you know, like it's kind of like witchcraft and magic.
Does it fit with NLP? Do you want to jump on NLP?
NLP, yes. So like what is NLP? Or
yes.
So NLP broken down, well, it's Neuro-Linguistic programming. So if you take those three words, neuro meaning your nervous system, linguistic meaning language, and programming, which is programming. And so essentially it's using language to reprogram and get the results that you want in your life. A lot of the time between the ages of 0 and 7, we create an identity for ourselves. Humans are master modelers. We model everything, and that's how we have evolved as society. And between the ages of 0 and 7, you learn to be a certain way, and by modeling. And so you have this is kind of going a little bit deeper, but you have an unconscious mind and you have a conscious mind. And when you're 0 to 7, you're absorbing everything into your unconscious mind. And as you progress past the age of 7, you start thinking with your conscious mind. But you're programmed to be a certain way between those ages in your unconscious mind. And so as you continue throughout life, you have developed this identity which influences your behaviors and your values, and that's who you've become from that age. So neuro-linguistic programming is essentially going back into your timeline, and you can reprogram your nervous system.
So first you understand them, I guess, you become aware of them, and then you reprogram them?
Yes, and a big thing is, I was just talking to Andres before, that when you start NLP, you're unconsciously incompetent. So you don't know what you don't know, right? That's in life. You don't know what you don't know. And once you start becoming aware of what you don't know, then you're consciously incompetent. Then you go, okay, well now I know what I can work on. And as you work on that, you become consciously competent. And then as you start doing that more and more, it becomes a habit, and you become unconsciously competent. And that's the goal. Okay,
so basically you have these patterns in your unconscious you're not happy about, raise them to your consciousness, work on them, goes back in the unconscious in the proper way.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
That's cool. And so how do you do it more like practically?
NLP? So, I mean, I was working with you when we did the thing, and your eyes actually give away a lot of how...
That's scary.
I
can't hide anything from you.
No, you can. I know a lot more about you than you know about you. No, but your eyes actually, the way that you look will signal how you process information in your mind.
That's fascinating.
Fascinating.
So tell me about what I'm doing.
So, well, I'd have to ask you some questions. Maybe look at them. All right, and... if you could imagine, what color was your bedroom wall when you were a child?
My bedroom?
Yeah, your bedroom wall.
Would be blue.
Blue?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to watch you there.
I'm conscious of it, but I think I look right? Or?
So all right, I'll tell you which way. I'll just explain it. So there's obviously different ways that you could program information into your brain, and your eyes give away, the way that they look, give away where you're accessing that information. So for a normal right-handed person, if you look if you look that way, up to the left-hand side, you're recalling information visually.
Okay.
And if you look that way, you're creating something visually in your mind. Auditory is middle. So if you're looking that way, you're recalling a sound, auditory. And if you're looking this way, you're creating a sound, auditory.
Okay.
And if you look down to the left, you're auditory digital, so you're trying to make sense of things. Down to the right, you're kinesthetic, so you're accessing your feelings. So you can ask someone a question, and I'm pretty sure you looked up this way. I was trying to look at your eyes in there. But when you access the information of what color your bedroom was, you looked up that way. And so you were recalling what the visual of your room was as a child. So when you hear someone speaking and they're looking a certain way, they're accessing a part of their brain that they prefer. So you can then speak to that person on that level. So we realize that you're an auditory. Remember I told you you're auditory? So when I speak to you, for me to communicate on a better level with you, I can say, I hear what you mean.
Okay,
that
instead
sounds
of I see
good.
What you mean.
Exactly. Because you're auditory.
And
so,
maybe,
So I would build better rapport with someone by knowing how they access information.
And maybe that's why I prefer listening to books rather than reading books.
Exactly. Yeah.
So basically you use NLP, you can use it on yourself to change your unconscious behaviors, but you can also use it with others to build rapport. And,
well, the first thing that you need to do is learn it for yourself, because if you don't learn it for yourself, how are you meant to coach anyone else with it? But a lot of the time, the people that do the NLP courses, they are practicing with people in the class, and the people are having breakthroughs. And when you're there and someone's having this breakthrough, you realize how much of an impact you can make on someone's life. And you realize how much the world needs this to be able to better understand each other and communicate. And so that's kind of how I realized that this is the path that I want to go down. And
And so you've explained practically an example of how you can use it to build rapport, for example, or understand other people. How do you use it on yourself? Because the idea of getting things from your unconscious in your conscious mind and fixing it is in different areas. If I think of psychoanalysis, for example, they do this but with different tools, right? So what's the tool you use to, first getting unconscious pattern to your conscious mind? That's not something easy, I guess. So how do you do that? And then how do you reprogram yourself in the proper way with the NLP?
So you'll need to be working with someone because your brain is very smart. And to turn on your unconscious mind, you need to be in a state of like kind of calm, not thinking, because once you start thinking, you turn on your conscious mind. And the whole point is you want to access your unconscious mind. So you need to be working with someone to access that. So I wouldn't be able to just sit, and obviously you can meditate and you can do the NLP courses, but to actually really make progress, you have to work with someone.
It's kind of a way to get the conscious mind out of the way to access directly subconscious. And in this way it's quite close to psychoanalysis. The difference is here you'd have direct access rather than recollecting dreams, for example, which would be
about that.
Well, because if you do psychoanalysis, you talk a lot about your dreams, or like some behaviors you have sometimes that are meant to be unconscious, but you recollect them now, which are past experiences of your unconscious. Well, here it's current. So it's funny that you bring that up, because they say that when you sleep, you're in this state of you know how I explained between the ages of 0 and 7, you're in this state that you're just you're absorbing information, and you're more likely to accept it at that age. When you're sleeping and just before you sleep, you're actually in that same state. Because your neocortex shuts off.
Yes,
right?
exactly. That's exactly right. And so what I'm learning next is hypnotherapy, which is like the next and masters.
Same logic, right?
Exactly.
You go straight to the unconscious.
So a lot of the things with NLP, there's scripts that you follow, and they're written a certain way that actually access your unconscious mind. And so it really puts the conscious mind down and really allows you to access your unconscious mind.
On this, there's some really interesting work with psychedelics, and for example, probably going to do at some point a therapy where you take MDMA, but it's very different from taking MDMA. When you party, it's like you go on a full trip in your unconscious, and you do this with a therapist.
Yeah.
And the idea is to do like
yeah.
The idea is to do like 10 years of psychotherapy
Yeah.
in one go.
Well, they're doing that
full access.
Yeah, they're doing that with, I think, soldiers with PTSD and whatnot, and having great results. So, I mean, yeah.
That's on the list.
Yeah.
So the next one is what motivated you? I'd say, so we talked a bit about coaching and mindset and making people's lives better.
Yeah.
Let's say, what motivated you to become an NLP coach? In a way, like, why did you choose this over many ways people can choose to coach, through health? I mean, you do also a bit of health. You talked about hypnosis.
Yeah.
What really ticked for you with NLP?
Well, one of the first personal development courses that I did when I started my real journey of personal development. I didn't realize it at the time, but they were incorporating NLP in the trainings. Now that I've done NLP, I know that that's what they were doing, but they were telling us about where your eyes looked and what kind of information you're accessing, and I just thought that was fascinating. And I love learning about, I was always really interested in psychology, but I was like, I don't know if I want to be a psychologist.
Are you a very rational person in general, or do you like to know the science behind? Or?
I like to know science behind.
Because I feel that's an approach that's quite rational too, that I would like to.
Yeah. I like to know, I don't accept things as they are. I like to make sense of it and come to my own conclusions.
Okay.
I did the personal development and really kind of it opened a whole new can of worms of what was possible for myself and had my own journey. And I just realized, like, what I'm actually really passionate about is implementing this from young age for children, because like the children are the next generation. They're the ones that are really gonna change the world, and so they're the ones that I think would need this the most. And so I think implementing
you gotta convince the parents to do
well, I mean, the parents need to do it first, I think. So I think having my own journey and knowing how I was and how I became from it and how much other people need it, like you can hear, once you do these courses, you can hear people and you can hear the blocks that they're saying, like, I can't do this, I can't do that. This is, and they're living at the effect instead of at cause in their life. And that's the whole thing about NLP, is like learning to be at cause instead of at effect. Like you are at cause of your life. And I just became super passionate about that for myself and about helping other people with it as well.
That's interesting what you said with children, because I'm having that thought sometimes. So, for example, Chong here, who's a friend listening to this live, he has a non-for-profit, and the idea is to teach meditation to school, which is obviously super exciting for the generation to come. The thing is that if you want to convince schools to meditate, you want to convince the parents first too.
Well, I think that it's not about convincing, it's about living by example. If you start living a certain way and you start creating a certain way of life and it starts becoming successful, it's going to attract people to it, right?
That's pretty convincing.
Well, I mean, like,
I see what you mean. Not convincing with word, but leading by example.
Leading by example and being the change and showing people it's possible. And, you with your UNLOCKT events, like creating a community and a space. And once you have that, people will just start coming. People are looking for something like this. People don't want to be in pain. Some people maybe do want to be in pain, but for the most part, people are looking for a better way, and everyone's wanting to, everyone's doing the best with what they have, and I think that this just gives people the opportunity to do even better.
Yeah, that's interesting. It reminds me, I did a podcast, it was 2 months ago, the chick called Lucy Pebble, really amazing chick, and it was about doing and being, and I'm really into doing, and I realized how people get more attracted by who you are than what you do. So like doing these events, they think it's cool, but I realized people and being, and the same when we were doing these events together, I was attracted not by what you were doing, not because you do NLP, not because you're a coach, etc. But because your way of being, there's like something that like a vibration that you can.
Thank you.
I
feel the same about you.
It's good.
But I think it's the same thing. It's like it's actually like when you speak to someone, it's not always what they're saying; it's how they say it, and and I think it's the same thing as.
There's a beautiful line in the Bhagavad Gita, which is it's like a text from the Vedic knowledge, which is before Buddhism, and it says it's established in being, perform actions. Is the action comes from your being, right?
Yeah.
So if you work first on your being,
Yeah.
Or like Gandhi, be the change you seek to. Be the change you want to see in the world, or something.
Be the change you want to see in the world. Yeah.
So cool.
And as well, like it kind of links back with the whole law of attraction. Like when you start being that person, you start attracting more of that into your life as well, which is fun.
Nice. And so going back to the NLP, you talked about the eyes.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are plenty other ones. So if you have other examples, so that's a bit body language. I guess the words you use are very important too. Can be empowering or disempowering. Do you work a lot on this?
So, the words that you use, yes. It's kind of like diving deep in. There's certain words that you can use that would make you access your unconscious mind versus your conscious mind. And it's just, and they call it chunking up and chunking down. And when you chunk down, you're becoming more specific with things, and you're finding specific examples. But when you chunk up, you start thinking, what is the purpose of this? And what is the purpose of this? And you start thinking bigger picture, and that...
Can you give an example?
What do I give you an example of? Did you have something that happened recently today that you could share, an experience today?
An experience today?
Something that you've done today.
I did priming, Tony Robbins priming in the morning with the crew.
And how did that go? What did you do for the priming? Can you explain that?
So I explained what it was. So I said it was a mix of breath work and movement and gratitude, and a good way to start the day. Yeah. And then I led it. So I did it with the people who were there.
Yeah. And where specifically did you do that?
Where? Well, just here in front of the beach.
Okay, perfect. And what was the purpose of the priming?
The purpose was to get people to wake up at 6 a.m.
And what is the purpose of getting people to wake up?
Make them have energy flowing, and so they have a good day because they have more energy.
And what is the purpose of that?
Well, people having a good day.
And to have a good day, what is the purpose of that?
Well, that they be happy.
Yeah. So the whole idea of chunking up and chunking down, as I continue to chunk up, you'll start accessing a part of your brain that gets you thinking and you kind of get in this state.
You have more purpose?
You get in a state that you're in that state, the 0 to 7 years old, where you're just absorbing. Once you get someone in the state of that, so you're chunking up, you're getting them in this state.
I mean, personally, then it could be like that. It makes me feel good because I feel like I'm contributing. And then when I feel I'm contributing, I'm feeling loved.
Yeah.
So something like this.
But you'll notice when you ask people the purpose of things, they start to think, they stop. And they have to start thinking, I could keep going for 5 minutes. That's what we do. We keep going. And as you keep going, you get people stop and they think, where's it? When you're asking the exact details, people are quick to reply. It's easy to reply details, but it's not easy to think big picture. You're accessing a part of your brain that you don't always use. And so that's another example of the words that you would use. And there's certain words that help you to access that part of your brain. It's very confusing to me even. I left and I was in a state of trance. So there's a whole list I could go through the words with you, but I don't have it here, so I can't go. But
is there also words you tend to use or not use because they're empowering or not? For example, I try to completely remove from my vocabulary, I have to.
Okay. One word that I would suggest you remove, when you just said it, is try. So try is setting yourself up for failure. So when you say that, you're allowing yourself to have the option of failing. So one word that you can stop saying is try.
You're good.
It's just about listening to people, and you don't notice sometimes what you say, but when you work with someone, they can pick those things out, and I can bring that to your consciousness. So the next time that it comes out, you go, wait a second, I don't want to try. I am doing this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love this one. Nice.
So with the eye patterns as well, that you have a certain strategy, and so usually there's 3 or 4 eye patterns that you use in a strategy. So I could ask you about a recent experience, and you can tell me about this experience, and how did you think about buying this shirt?
Had
Can you walk me through when you bought it?
Oh yeah, that was in Paris, and I thought, well, I would just like the message on it. So it says, can you read? It's like
art is a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, and I thought that was cool.
Yeah,
I thought that was fun. So yeah, I like the message.
Yeah. So when you went up to the store, did somebody help you buy it?
Yeah, I was like, do you have medium size?
Can I hold this real quick? So you went up to the store.
Yeah.
And you saw the shirt right away.
Yeah.
And you went and you bought it.
Yeah.
Was there any?
I don't spend a lot of time shopping. Like it's like I'll go to a shop. It's like I'm gonna get back with
okay.
Stuff. Yeah.
So pretty much, I'll talk you through. So if somebody was to have a strategy that they use often in their life, let's say for you it was visual, auditory, kinesthetic. So you saw the shirt. Auditory digitals make sense.
Yeah.
That shirt will make sense because it'll look good at my events, and then
for my podcast.
At my podcast, and then the feeling you access next. So your visual, auditory.
Yeah.
Oop, you're getting a call. And then kinesthetic. How's it going to feel after you wear the shirt? So that could be your strategy.
Yeah.
So if you're not getting the success that you want in your life, you can start creating a new strategy. And you start thinking, okay, instead of visual, auditory, kinesthetic, I'm going to go visual, kinesthetic, auditory. Okay. And so changing that strategy can then change your results.
Okay.
Right? So that's another practical, but you'd obviously have to work with someone.
Okay.
Do that.
Is it possible to do something practical and a bit deep just like this, or is that really?
It's not. It would take, usually the courses take about an hour. Like if I was one-on-one, it would take about an hour to an hour and a half.
Okay.
So get comfy.
Don't be that dead.
But yeah, I think the visual, actually one thing that I can do with you, so.
I want to entertain
So yeah, is just building rapport with people.
Okay.
So I could build rapport with you. I've already built it. So I would copy you. Everything that you do.
Yeah, I think Vladimir Putin, is famous for using it.
Yeah.
Using like if someone shouts, he shouts too, like just mimicking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So there's different things that you can mimic that, well, not mimic, because obviously if I mimicked everything that you said, then you'd be like, what is wrong with this girl? Like she's clearly trying to mimic me. But to build rapport with people, you can copy a lot of different things. So you can copy, like right now, I'm copying how you look, right? And so it would probably be obvious if I went like this, but I can go like this, and we're pretty much the same.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be so obvious to you, but I would build rapport with you, and you would go. And the reason I would know that is you would go, have we met before? Or, and once someone says that, it means that you've built rapport with them. If they they feel like they've recognized you, then you've built that rapport.
I'd be like, I really like her posture.
So maybe the first event, you're like, there's something about her. Maybe I was just subconsciously doing it, and I didn't realize. But that's a way that you can practically build rapport with people. And have better relationships with the people that you meet, and kind of knock off that guard when you first meet them. So you can mimic their posture. That's an easy one. Another thing that you can mimic is their breathing pattern. So if you're looking at sensory acuity, how they're breathing, you can start breathing how they're breathing. You can blink when they blink. You can how loud they speak. You can copy that, or how soft they speak, or how fast they speak, or how slow they speak.
And did it take you time? Because I guess. If we're gonna have a conversation, and at the same time you observe all of these things, does it take a bit of time to get used to? It's like when you learn to drive a car. At first, you're like to think about everything you do, and you can't do two things at the same time. Is it like a training, and then you do it automatically?
Yes. So like it's bringing it to your consciousness when you do the course. But it's like I've just begun, and there's people that have been doing this for years and years, and there's always room for improvement. And anything in life, you're never going to be perfect. And once you start getting good at something, there's probably going to be new science that either disproves or shows that there's a better way. So I think the best way to do it is to constantly practice it, and to maybe once at a time, like maybe start just copying what people look like first. And once you nail that, you'll start doing it without realizing you're doing it. The more that you're doing it, as we said before, you become consciously incompetent or unconsciously competent, and you start, love hearts. Thanks for loving, guys.
I think it's your boyfriend.
Oh, really?
So much,
Yeah.
So actually, because your boyfriend Thomas did also the NLP course.
Yes.
How is it at home? Are you like, shit, where are my eyes looking?
No. I mean, we've been together for 7 years now. So we know, I was NLPing him before we even did the course. But yeah. Okay. So I think for every relationship, it's amazing because you're going to find such a deeper connection with the people that you're in a relationship with. So whether it be personal, whether it be friendships, whether it be your colleagues, it's going to help every kind of relationship you have.
Nice. So I'll ask people if they want to ask questions. That's for the people on the live. We have a little live.
We have a live audience over here.
So if you have questions, you can prepare them now. I'm going to ask my last question, but then we can go on the Q&A. My last question is more on your life's vision, because I'm very interested in, I'm now friends with a lot of people in this Sydney area who kind of want to, both ambitious, performant young people who also want to change the world for the better, right? So I like to ask, what's your vision like? What do you want your impact in the world to be?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to empower people both physically and financially to live the life of their dreams without limits. So meaning without limits physically, mentally, financially. I wanna just help people to live their best lives. I know that's very broad, but I mean, and I think if I could help even just a few people to do that, then I think that's a win. Well,
probably you've already done it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. On my way. But I want to do it a more big picture. I've done it with a few people, but we're talking thousands of people make a difference.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Hundreds of thousands. Why limit myself?
Yeah. And you're not going to try.
No, I'm not going to try.
And fucking do it.
What's your vision?
My vision is to take part as much as I can in the elevation of consciousness of the world. I think the world's facing a lot of challenges, whether it's the environment, some people are around animal ethics, some people, about humanitarian missions and things. I think they're all very beautiful. Yeah. But to me, they all come from that core, which is, I think when you have a higher consciousness, all those things kind of follow through, right? So, I think everyone's got their place, but for me it's this. And there's another thing. What I'm passionate about is elevation of consciousness and technology. And I know quite a few people in AI, blockchain, and technology really frees us, makes us free. But it can go really both ways, and that's why usually people, they see what's the challenge in our world and what matters really. Technology is a huge thing to solve problems, but it can lead to heaven on earth, and it can live on no one on earth, right? And I think that's gonna be the role of elevating consciousness.
Well, it's really interesting. The first day we did NLP, they said that NLP is all about evolving your consciousness, and I really do feel like the internet as well is helping us to evolve our consciousness, and we're growing at a faster rate than ever before, consciously. We're conscious of so much more than the generation before us, and it'll be the same for the next generation. We'll just keep evolving more and more consciously, which is really cool. I can't forgot her name, but that's Swedish 16-year-old that goes on strike for the climate. I thought that's amazing. I didn't even hear about that.
It's like a big thing. But and for me it's as you said, with the internet and stuff, like the podcasts and things like this, is I can get advice from Steve Jobs, from Arnold Schwarzenegger, from whoever I want to get advice from, and that's gold. And I want to share that with people. That's why I do my programs. But John, Brittany, you're invited to my next event, Awake. John's amazing. So he's doing conscious parties in Sydney, and you've been to the first one.
It was amazing.
It.
You're an amazing DJ. That was an awesome event. We had the event, when was it, 2 weeks ago? We had cacao, there was massages.
So good.
It was amazing. Kombucha.
There's a big conscious scene in Sydney now.
I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Like,
do you feel the world's changing?
Yeah.
The world's getting more conscious?
I think so. Yeah. Especially like, I think, as you said, with the internet and everything, like people are just waking up.
Yeah.
People are realizing with the internet that you know, information is information is sharing so fast that I think that
it's exciting, and there's definitely a generation thing. Like I interviewed was my first interview on Vipassana, like a chick called Jess, and she's like 20, maybe 21 now, and she's like wiser than most of the older people I know.
Yeah.
And there's a big shift this way. I actually plan to do this year a book. Maybe around like millennials inspiration,
it's
like
amazing.
how our age, you know, we look at life differently.
Yeah.
And you look, I mean, obviously I don't want to generalize too much, but when you look at the demographic who are voting for Trump or for Brexit, well, you know, if you took young people, that wouldn't happen, right?
Yeah.
So it's, you know, as life goes its way and replaces generation, I think we're going to towards an exciting world, but
definitely
it's not a given. We got to work for it.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to have both sides of the coin in every kind of argument. You know, with the internet, it's great, it's bad. Like, you know, that there's so much that you can argue on both sides.
Objective measures going that way, though. If you listen to Steven Pinker about how the world's better, studies on meditation are like exponential.
Absolutely. We're raising the vibration of the world.
Because I like to do these reality checks, because you and I, we probably got more into those circles, but it's not just here. It's not just us. Well, I mean, it's a general trend.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's like objective.
The whole world. Yeah, I love it. Can't get enough.
I think we're done with the questions.
Yeah.
So how can people follow you?
So I have my Facebook, which is Brittany Onorato, which you'll find my name here. I have my Instagram, Brittany Onorato, my name again. I have my own webpage on my Instagram, so that's there. But if anyone has any questions, reach out. I'm happy to guide you to where you can find more information or help you myself.
Amazing. If you're in Coogee, you do free events, exercise.
Yeah, we do them all over. So we had one in. I do every 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We'll do. Well, we were doing them every week, so we'll probably get back into that. But we're doing Coogee, Waterloo, Zetland, Randwick, Bondi. So we've tried to really hit every kind of town, city.
And we have a little tradition in this podcast. We finish with a big hug.
Yeah, I love it. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. You're a really beautiful person. I love to have you and that whole tribe when they come on the show. It's really good. Thank you, Brittany.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys,
Bye, guys.